I'm James Carter, and met Gary probably about eight years or so ago. And he initially we were needing somebody with their financial advice, and then in 2021 he was a big help for me whenever I retired and helping set up my retirement plans and everything. So we've been very, very happy with the whole time.
And my name is Jean Marie Carter, and I met Gary at a seminar for retirement planning. And Gary also helped me when my father passed away. I had inherited some IRAs, and I needed to roll them over along with my 401ks. So I was able to transfer everything over with the help of Gary in order to make the best intelligent decisions in my retirement savings. And I have recommended Gary to other people. He did help my brother that lived in Texas in regards to making a change in his plan because it wasn't really benefiting him in the way his medical was. So I feel that the group has really been outstanding. I'm totally pleased with the functions that have taken place in our benefits and our retirement.
Y'all make us feel like family.
At home, yeah. And we hope that we can maybe outlive our benefits so that our children will get a little bit, but it's been a wonderful, wonderful process. I would definitely recommend them because I feel that they take into effect the whole entire concept of your family, your financial status, and also your projections for the future. And I really feel that that has been one of the things that has helped us and would definitely help anyone else that needed a little assistance and guidance.
Yeah, and they care about everybody in general, just like we're family. And they always make sure everybody's doing good. And even with birthdays, they always they always check in with you, which we appreciate that quite a bit.
And we get to share family photos of our grandchildren that Gary loves to see: the baseball, the softball, basketball, dance.
Wow.
And monster trucks.
Yeah.
I'm James Carter, and met Gary probably about eight years or so ago. And he initially we were needing somebody with their financial advice, and then in 2021 he was a big help for me whenever I retired and helping set up my retirement plans and everything. So we've been very, very happy with the whole time.
And my name is Jean Marie Carter, and I met Gary at a seminar for retirement planning. And Gary also helped me when my father passed away. I had inherited some IRAs, and I needed to roll them over along with my 401ks. So I was able to transfer everything over with the help of Gary in order to make the best intelligent decisions in my retirement savings. And I have recommended Gary to other people. He did help my brother that lived in Texas in regards to making a change in his plan because it wasn't really benefiting him in the way his medical was. So I feel that the group has really been outstanding. I'm totally pleased with the functions that have taken place in our benefits and our retirement.
Y'all make us feel like family.
At home, yeah. And we hope that we can maybe outlive our benefits so that our children will get a little bit, but it's been a wonderful, wonderful process. I would definitely recommend them because I feel that they take into effect the whole entire concept of your family, your financial status, and also your projections for the future. And I really feel that that has been one of the things that has helped us and would definitely help anyone else that needed a little assistance and guidance.
Yeah, and they care about everybody in general, just like we're family. And they always make sure everybody's doing good. And even with birthdays, they always they always check in with you, which we appreciate that quite a bit.
And we get to share family photos of our grandchildren that Gary loves to see: the baseball, the softball, basketball, dance.
Welcome.
And monster trucks.
Yeah.
I'm James Carter, and met Gary probably about eight years or so ago. And he initially we were needing somebody with their financial advice, and then in 2021 he was a big help for me whenever I retired and helping set up my retirement plans and everything. So we've been very, very happy with the whole time.
And my name is Jean Marie Carter, and I met Gary at a seminar for retirement planning. And Gary also helped me when my father passed away. I had inherited some IRAs, and I needed to roll them over along with my 401ks. So I was able to transfer everything over with the help of Gary in order to make the best intelligent decisions in my retirement savings. And I have recommended Gary to other people. He did help my brother that lived in Texas in regards to making a change in his plan because it wasn't really benefiting him in the way his medical was. So I feel that the group has really been outstanding. I'm totally pleased with the functions that have taken place in our benefits and our retirement.
Y'all make us feel like family.
At home, yeah. And we hope that we can maybe outlive our benefits so that our children will get a little bit, but it's been a wonderful, wonderful process. I would definitely recommend them because I feel that they take into effect the whole entire concept of your family, your financial status, and also your projections for the future. And I really feel that that has been one of the things that has helped us and would definitely help anyone else that needed a little assistance and guidance.
Yeah, and they care about everybody in general, just like we're family. And they always make sure everybody's doing good. And even with birthdays, they always they always check in with you, which we appreciate that quite a bit.
And we get to share family photos of our grandchildren that Gary loves to see: the baseball, the softball, basketball, dance.
Welcome.
And monster trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're ready.
Hello, my name is Gary Hearn, and I'm so glad you joined with us tonight in the Social Security and how to maximize your Social Security and minimize the tax impact and how that fits into your retirement plan. So we'll go ahead and get started. Along the way, we'll make it clear how you can do a one-on-one. Tonight, we'll speak generically. Social Security has over 3,000 rules. So we'll hit some of the highlights that are pertinent to you. And then we'll confidentially be able to speak with you in one of our offices, on a Zoom, at a Panera, whatever you would like to, whenever you would like to meet. We'll make it clear how you can access meeting one-on-one. We have 4 advisors that have worked together over 40 years. So we're bringing together academically correct information, but also the experience, and more than anything, the care. So throughout the evening, you're welcome to ask questions, and I'll pause and answer those questions as we go. Thank you very much. We look forward to sharing with you. This will take about 1 hour total, but it might be 45 minutes. David Durham is the founder of the company. He's bilingual Spanish. Myself, I'm Gary Hearn. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. I've trained over 25,000 people. We've worked together training and educating people for over 35 years. You're welcome again for those that just joined to ask questions along the way. I have 4 daughters and multiple grandchildren, so I welcome questions. At the end, we'll throw out the lifeline and throughout so that you're able to have a confidential one-on-one. We volunteer our time to help you out. The basics we're covering tonight: Social Security, what is Social Security, the history, the solvency, who's eligible, taxes and your Social Security, and Social Security optimization. How do you make sure that you collect the most? My parents, my mother died at 90, my father at 85. They weren't given proper information when they filed for Social Security, so their timing and strategy were wrong, and they lost out on $135,000 extra just from Social Security. 1935, Social Security established itself through an act of Congress, and it was the old age survivor and disability insurance for U.S. citizens, just to prevent poverty. How much do you think the first check that Social Security wrote was? January 1937, Ernest Ackerman received 17 cents on the first check. You can tell a lot of inflation since then. What is Social Security? It's a pension or an annuity with survivor benefits, and consistently month by month, when you turn it on, you'll get that check the first Wednesday, second Wednesday, third or fourth, but consistently the rest of your life. Social Security from time to time will change their rules. And in 1983, for a brief history of Social Security, so you know to keep the steering wheel in your hands versus just doing everything they say, you can, Social Security said, let's increase the full retirement age from 65 to 67. If you were born 1960 or after, the full retirement age is 67. If you were born 1955, it's 66 and 2 months. And then every year thereafter, you add 2 months. Like in 1957, it would be 66 and 6 months, or 1960 on 67. Today, this says 67 million, but it just went up to 68 million. Retirees, disabled, survivors, and family members collect Social Security. 11,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day. So here's a question. Will Social Security be there for you? The solvency of Social Security is important. For my 4 daughters and multiple grandchildren, it's not going to be there the same as it is for the generation in the 50s approaching their 60s and going in to collect Social Security from 62 or all the way up to 70 when they turn it on. For this current generation, it's different. We have more clout. So Congress looks at the fact we have the most investable assets, the most active voters. They don't want to offend a voting bloc. They don't want to turn you off by hurting you in your Social Security. We have the most retirees, and our generation is paid into Social Security the longest and the most. I think you would agree with that. Middle America has financial and political clout, not geographically Middle America, but financially. In the average person's budget, they have 40% of their retirement budget need coming from Social Security. Some 100%. Some live on their Social Security. Others could do without the Social Security. Veterans are a big part. Congress said no more money for veterans that are disabled January 2017. But it's interesting how they took care of it, and then by March, they were fully funded for disabled veterans. 1980, Congress said out of money by 1983. No more Social Security for anyone. Well, President Reagan and a bipartisan Congress said, let's go ahead and have Alan Greenspan. I think most of you remember Alan. Dry sense of humor, one of the greatest mathematicians ever, the federal chair. And they asked, would you please study Social Security and why we're running out of money? So Alan said this. He said, if you get the right people in the room, you can solve all of Social Security's problems in 15 minutes. And the first 7 minutes are just getting to know each other. So this great mathematician said, there's no reason that with over 100 million people paying into Social Security 30 and 40 years and people dying early before they even collect, that there should be a shortfall. So he said it's a mathematical equation, keep politics out of it. This group going towards retirement should be okay. Future generations, no. If you've worked 10 years, then you have 40 credit hours, so you're fully vested for Social Security. Let's say your company moved away to a different state or a different country, and you had to find new work and were unable to. If you can even take a small job for $1,730, every $1,730 you earn is 1 credit. So maybe you are lacking 2 credits. As long as you earn those 2 credits, you'll be fully vested. Now, eligibility. What about non-workers? If they're a widow or a widower, they can collect on their deceased spouse's record as early as 60 or 50 if disabled. Unmarried children, younger than 18 if one of the spouses has died, or if they have a grandparent raising them and they have the guardianship, and sometimes even if they've adopted them. Divorcees, all right, get the X. Divorcees are eligible with specific rules. If you've been married more than 10 years and you're not remarried before 60 or you're divorced again, then you have a divorcee benefit of up to 50% of the ex-spouse's Social Security benefit. Disabled are becoming more difficult to qualify. I've helped people to get it within 1 month, but that's rare. Usually it takes up to 6 months, and then Social Security will say yes or no. Most people get Social Security disability at the 2-year mark. Taxes and your Social Security benefits. How many of you would like to pay more taxes? I would say, may I see a show of hands, but having trained over 20,000 people, I've never had one that said they want to pay more taxes. But it's a big challenge in retirement. So understanding your Social Security benefits and your liquid assets or your investable assets are taxed differently. When and how you use each can affect your taxes. Albert Einstein said, the hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. I agree with Albert Einstein. It should be a lot easier. Now, which horse do you ride first into retirement in light of taxes and your Social Security benefits? Do you ride the Social Security horse, your investable assets like 401ks, 403bs, 457s, or do you ride both of them at the same time? One way to answer the question is, are you still working? Are you under full retirement age? So if you're making more than $22,320 and you're not at your full retirement age, you're going to be penalized 50 cents on the dollar of everything you make above 22,320. Example on the bottom. If someone would take their benefit at 64, let's say it was 15,000, then they would earn zero net benefits because they're not allowed to earn 53,000 and collect 15,000. It's too much money above the limit, and that means they give half of the difference back, or exactly 15,000. How do you optimize your benefits? That's a big question. How do I make the most money and have the right timing? Have you ever heard the last 5 years are the most important? Most people have heard that. I've had a lot of people come into my office or one of my offices, and they've said, wow, I can't stand my boss. I can't stand working, but I've got to work these last 5 years because I know they're the most important. Maybe, maybe not. After seeing thousands of people retire and their retirement, Social Security, their retirement investments, a lot of times they can retire now and don't have to work another 5 years. Social Security looks at your 35 highest years of earnings. So I've worked over 50, so they drop the 15 lowest years. When you file, before, at, or after full retirement age is very important. What's your strategy? Which combinations are best for you? And how do you integrate maximizing your income, mitigating your taxes, making sure Social Security and your investments are timed properly? This is a bar graph, and we see that if you claim your Social Security at 62, you receive 75%, which means as you go along in your life, your raises every year will be 75% of what they could be if you waited to full retirement, where you would receive 100% of your money and the rest of your life 100% of your raises. So if you claim at 62, and we never tell anyone when to claim, but you can know that for 10 or 12 years you'll be better off. But if your life expectancy is longer, you will start diminishing your return and losing money because you didn't have the proper timing. Social Security is complex. 81 age combinations, 567 sets of calculations, a lot of options, thousands of rules, over 3,000 rules Social Security has. So it's virtually impossible without sophisticated software to make a right judgment. We're fortunate, we're very blessed that we have software not connected to Social Security. We don't need people's Social Security numbers, but we can give them the earliest to file, what that means, the optimum time, how much more money they would collect in their expected lifespan, and a combination of both. 90% of people in America are receiving less from Social Security than they could. So how do we have the right option out of all the various options to optimize? Better timing can add thousands to your bottom line every year. Knowing your timing and strategy. That's why we've dedicated ourselves, volunteered our time. That's why we're on YouTube and so many different channels, social media, that it's more important ever with the world upside down to have a solid retirement after working so many years. This particular chart we call the luck factor. If a person retired in the year 2000 and they were perfect one for one guessing the stock market and which stock to get, they would run out of money by 2018. Why? Because the market was against them. 2000, 2001, 2002, 3 years in a row, the market dropped with a total droppage of 50%. I met a person even yesterday who lost all of their money because of how they had it and their strategy during that time. So very important. 2008, the mortgage-backed security crisis. You can see the yellow line. People lost 34%. If you get charged a fee in your account, then it'd be 34% plus the fee, like 2%, stated or hidden. So they would have lost 36%. And you see all the different yellow. There's 7 different corrections in the market in the last 24 years. Before, it used to be 1 every 10 years. So it's vital to have the right retirement plan. Common problems and integration is you talk to a financial advisor, and we're independent financial advisors, but so many say, oh, tell us about, answer these 9 questions, 7 questions. Used to be 99 questions. And then they would cookie cutter you into a program so that now nationwide, 80% of accounts are on autopilot, and they're not adjusted for the daily needs or the yearly needs or the ups and downs of the market. A high use of target funds and bonds. Inside the target funds, if you open them up, is emerging markets, international bonds. When do you think international was the best? Not for the last 31 years. The last time it was great was 1993. So we recommend a second opinion. We volunteer our time to give you that second opinion. With my financial hat on, I would say, do you go back to the first person that gave you an opinion for a second opinion? Do you go back to the first doctor for a second opinion? So we're here. We'll help you out. We'll provide a retirement roadmap at no charge and confidentially get that to you. What do we look at for the second opinion? The performance of what you have. You can blacken out your account numbers. We can look at your details and share with you what's your growth, what's your contribution, your risk. What's the purpose of that pocket of money or the other pocket? What's your tolerance? What's going on with the bonds? How many fees are you really being charged? Stated and hidden inside the annuities, inside the 401k. What about your projected retirement income? Our report gives you a tax impact and Social Security timing, which is vital. So you have an integrated approach. Now I want to come to where I show you Social Security and their rule book. It's very important to ask a question. Do you think that Social Security is going to share with you how to maximize your money and minimize your tax? When I train Social Security workers, none of them say that you will or that they will, so that you will have the right answers. Let's go ahead and look at what's coming up in the next slide. Social Security workers, I blew it up so you understand. When you try to optimize, the Social Security workers have been trained, and how is that? They're trained, restricted, and motivated to start your Social Security benefits as soon as possible, which means the least amount for you. Remember, we never tell you when to claim, but we want you to be educated to make the right decisions. If you've already started, we can help you maneuver your entire portfolio to help you maximize and minimize any impact. Also, they want to Social Security workers are trained to subject your benefits to as much tax as possible. Also, they're trained to get you in and out as soon as possible in one visit. That's online, on the telephone, or in an office. You say, Gary, come on. Okay, let me show you their training manual. You see this Social Security Administration Guide, government number 00203.004, called Taking the Claim. They train their workers in the detail of how to take the claim. And I've highlighted a couple things in red because of timing. I don't have the time to go through every point, but on the next slide, I'll show you. Let me share with you. In that Taking the Claim administrative guide, the workers have to adhere to this. Their phone calls are recorded. They can be reprimanded, written up, and even terminated if they violate it. So they're trained to provide you enough information so that you make informed choices, but do not give advice. Now, I've worked 50 years. I want advice on how to maximize my money and minimize my tax. They also have been trained to do a complete interview the first time they talk to you, but maybe you need longer to consider it. So let's continue on. Social Security optimization, how? There's strategies, but it's tricky. You want to get it right the first time. It's going to be for the rest of your life. Can you change it? If within the first 12 months you say, I want to change my mind, you can pay back all the benefits and then restart at a higher amount later. Key points to remember. SSA.gov. When you go on that website, you can print your retirement and see what you have at 62, 67, 70, whatever age you want to look at. Be careful when setting up your online access. Write down your password, username. A lot of people lose it. Then the government sends them 10 passwords, 10 usernames. Some of them work, some of them don't. Strategy and timing report. That's what we would like to share with each one of you who have attended this nonprofit seminar so that you can know your best timing and strategy. How do you get a strategy session? How do you optimize your money, both in the Social Security realm and in your investable assets? We provide you a free half-an-hour Social Security consultation, pro bono, one-on-one in an office, on Zoom. We'll help you out. And remember, you can subscribe to your free consultation by going on DurhamLoyal.com or calling 888-281-5814 or emailing info@DurhamLoyal.com, which is scrolling along the bottom of the screen. So I encourage you to allow me to more personalize it in a private, confidential way, and we'll continue on. For your second opinion of your investable assets, we throw you out a lifeline right now to say we'll give you a second opinion free, an additional half an hour for looking at your 401k, 403b, 457, TSP, IRA, life insurance, annuity, etc. When we look at it, you can black out your account numbers. We're not looking for private information, but the information that we can maximize your benefit by making the retirement roadmap. We give you accurate, the exact puzzle that fits you. And we make it in a simplistic way. We could use Excel spreadsheets. I'm finishing up my doctor's degree in 4 months, but we prefer to keep it clear and very stable in the information rather than making it complicated. Thank you. I really appreciate your attendance and all of the different people from different parts of the country. We invite you to schedule your complimentary appointment. Click the link that is in your email, or feel free to call our office, 888-281-5814, or visit our website, www.durhamloyal.com, or you can click the link on the screen. So thank you very much. And I'll stay now to answer any questions. If you want to type in any questions, I'll be more than happy to help you out. So I'll go ahead and stay here for quite a while. I would say 15 minutes. I want to thank Kenya, who set up our social media. A real sweet lady. David Durham, the founder of the company, she is the right-hand lady. And then we have a complete staff that supports our efforts to help you, both remotely and locally in multiple offices. Thank you. That's a great question. When we have a situation where one spouse is working, the other spouse is working but at lower income, the one earning the higher income can even work longer. In case for any reason they pass away, the spouse with the lower income can bounce up to the higher income and help out in the overall retirement. Divorcees, yes, can be married, divorced after 10 years, remarried, divorced after another 10 years, and have the option of which one to take. They'll take only one of the divorcee benefits, whichever is higher. The amount of money you have in the bank doesn't matter. You're speaking about a lady that came to one of our on-site seminars in Palm Beach County, Florida, and she had $2 million in the bank inherited. So that $2 million did not affect her Social Security and the ability to draw the earned income from her ex-spouse.
Any other question, Gary, that you?
I really appreciate your time. Are there any other questions that I can help you out with? Social Security plans on, in their documents, by 2035 running out of money in the trust fund. And that means that they would cut you back 25%. However, since 1935, every time Social Security announces that they're going to do something so tragic, just before it happens, they rectify the situation because they don't want to lose an entire voting block of seniors who are on Social Security. So for future generations, it will be different. For this generation, you're more secure. Next year, the baby boomers will go down from 11,000 to a lower number because we're at the apex now of the baby boomers. Last year it was 10,000. This year, 11,000 a day, turning 65. Next year, under 11,000 a day. And then it will continue to decline over the next few years as far as baby boomers turning 65. Thank you for your help in making this a wonderful seminar with your questions. And I'll go ahead and log out unless I'll wait one more minute just to see if there are any other questions. I'll go ahead and repeat the 800 number, 888-281-5814 to set up a free one-on-one appointment through Zoom or in one of our offices. We also have an office in Naples, in Coral Gables, in Pembroke Pines, Florida. And we've helped people in most states, all the South American countries, Latin America, and the Caribbean, and many other countries outside of the United States. So I will go ahead and exit now, but I look forward to speaking with you next time. Have a beautiful evening and God bless.
There's one more there. Turning 65